This is a 30-day reset protocol I'm actually using to rebuild my life. It started with a year-long dopamine detox, which I didn't plan to do. I was kind of forced into it. And thank God I was, because it changed my life. If you're watching this video, I hope this protocol can change yours. Let me start by asking if any of the following sound familiar. So you sit down to do the one hard thing that actually matters today. And 2 minutes in, your mind is somewhere else. Or maybe there's a to-do item that's been on your list, but every time there's time to do it, you don't. How about this one? When you hit a win or achieve something, you feel almost nothing. Or finally, do most days end with you frustrated or feeling empty, even when you did all of the work that needed to be done? Those are just a few examples I lived in for years. There's many, many more signs a protocol like this could help. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that your phone is evil or that scrolling is destroying your soul. Everybody does it. I did all of it for years at full volume. Here's what I found to be true. It's not a willpower problem. It's a baseline problem. Your brain and my brain got used to getting a hit of dopamine every few minutes for years. And now the ordinary version of life, work, and responsibilities feels flat by comparison. You don't fix that by trying harder tomorrow. You fix it by resetting the baseline, once on purpose, with a start date and an end date. So here's what this video is. It's 7 rules, 30 days. This is the protocol I built out of something I actually did. I ran these rules for almost a year straight, and I'm not challenging you to do a year, just 30 days and watch what happens. Before we jump into this video, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before the rules, I want to explain why this works. Because if you don't get this part, you'll quit on like day 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, early. So first thing, the reason a protocol beats willpower is that it removes decision. So for example, I run my workday from 8:30 in the morning till 5 p.m. in the afternoon, every day. And I try to plan my tasks the night before, just 5 minutes on my phone using the reminders app. I do that because the most expensive question you can ask at 8:30 in the morning is, what should I work on today? Decisions cost you. A rule doesn't. So second thing, and this is the honest part, a boundary doesn't hold because it gets easy. My 5 o'clock stop is around 6 months old now, and I genuinely don't want to stop most days I'm working. Stopping is hard every single time, but it holds because I decided again, every single day. So if you're waiting for day 12 to feel effortless during this protocol, you're waiting for something that isn't coming. Third thing, you are going to feel frustrated in the middle of doing this correctly. Something I've been working on in therapy is what they call the dialectical. The idea that two things can be true at one time. I can be doing all the right work and still be frustrated. Both are true. One doesn't cancel the other. And the last thing, here's what I only understood looking backwards. I had been flooded with dopamine day after day, year after year without ever noticing it. And over time, it did 2 specific things to me. It killed my ability to focus, and it made me less grateful for the things I was actually doing and achieving. The wins stopped registering as wins. That's the thing you're gonna reset. Not your screen time number, your ability to feel and fuel your own life. All right, 7 rules. Rule 1 happens before you cut anything. Write down the actual reason you're doing this, and not, I want to get my life together. The real one, the specific one. And I'll go first, because if I dress this up, it's useless to you. I didn't choose this. Everything around me started coming apart, and it was caused by me. In business, I wasn't unfocused. I was focused on the wrong things. I was doing the tasks that gave me the dopamine hit instead of the tasks that needed doing. And then I'd get frustrated because the things that needed doing weren't done. My mood was bad. It had no stability. And I was carrying a lot of guilt for relationships I'd damaged and mistakes I'd made personally and in business. That was the reason, not a productivity goal. So write yours down. The specific thing that's actually broken in your handwriting on paper that you'll see again. Because around day 8, you're going to want a reason that's stronger than I read a protocol online or I watched this video. And I'll say this plainly. Getting forced into this was the best thing that ever happened to me. Rule 2 is the one you already knew was coming. Full social media blackout. Not less time, not screen limits. Delete the apps off of your phone for 30 days. Your phone does 4 things now. Text, emails, phone calls, take photos. That's it. And notice what that actually is. It's not a punishment. It's a phone. The reason it has to be all the way off instead of turned down is that a reduced dose of that phone still keeps the baseline where it's at, unfortunately. So you're not trying to consume less. That isn't the goal here. You're trying to reset what normal feels like. And you cannot reset it while you're still taking the hit 7 times a day. Delete them, all of them. You can put them back on day 31, and you'll want to hear what happens when you do. I'll share that at the end of this. Rule 3. This is the one that nobody cuts, and I think it's bigger than social media. Cut AI completely. Everyone assumes social media is the first thing to go in a detox, but here's what I found. AI gives you just as much of a dopamine release, if not more. Because you have a thought, and seconds later, the thing you were thinking exists. That's a perceived win. Instantly, over and over, all day long. That is the exact loop you're trying to break. And cutting it does something else that I didn't expect the first time around. It forces you to actually write and create using the full extent of your brain. Your brain gets to stretch and strengthen the muscle again. And within a week or 2 of working without it, you'll realize something kind of important. You can still do everything you were doing with it. That's a very different feeling than believing you need it. And then here's the payoff. When you put AI back in to your workflow after the detox, trust me when I say this, it feels 10 times more powerful. Not because the tool changed, because you did. You go from leaning on it to using it as leverage. Those are 2 completely different relationships with the same thing. Rule number 4, move your body every single day. And I'm gonna keep the bar low on purpose here. This isn't one of those 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 sprints, go run a marathon. A walk counts, a run counts, a bike ride counts. Going outside and touching the grass counts. It just has to happen every day. Here's my honest version of this one. I ignored my health for years when I was grinding around the clock. And it cost me in ways that showed up everywhere else. In my mood, my work, the people around me. So now it's built into the middle of my day where I can't negotiate with it. 11:45 in the morning, I change my clothes, I get in the truck, I go to the gym. 1 body part a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 4. Then I get back home, a sandwich, a shower, and I get back at it. And that's the thing that makes it work. It isn't the workout. It's that it's a full change of state. I'm not eating lunch at the desk. I physically leave and come back a different person. 30 days of that does more for your head than your body. Rule 5 is the shortest one in the video. Drink a lot of water. So this is the 1-gallon jug that I bought, and I fill it up 2-ish times a day. That's the whole rule. I'm not gonna build a science section around this. Stay hydrated, it works. And then just keep moving on. Some people cut the coffee here. I didn't. For me, coffee is just a part of life, and you can cut it if you want, but I did not. The main lesson here is hydrate. Rule 6 is the one that's going to sound wrong, especially if you're ambitious. Cap your work. Here's why. If you get a dopamine release from your work, and if you're watching this channel, you probably do, then work is one of your sources, which means you can do everything else in this protocol and still be chasing the hit all day from one project to the next. So for 30 days, you do what needs to be done that day, and then you stop for the day. No extra tasks, no bonus wins. And here's a specific test. If there's a task you're genuinely looking forward to and your must-do list for the day is already done, save it for tomorrow. What you're teaching your mind here is that you're allowed to be done. My hard version of that is the 5 o'clock stop, and it's been tested plenty. One morning we lost childcare and I couldn't start until 10. I ended at 5 anyway. Mentally, that was genuinely hard. Accepting a day ending on time after losing 2 or 3 hours of work. I made the work up the next day. That's the whole discipline. Make up the work tomorrow. Do the extra work tomorrow. Don't break the boundary today. Because the second the boundary is negotiable, you don't have one. Rule number 7. And this is the most important. And it's actually the one almost nobody does. A daily gratitude routine. 5 to 10 minutes, roughly the same time every day. Morning or evening both work. Mine's in the evening, and it's how I close the day, with the journal and a prayer. Mine's a journal, but a plain notebook does the same exact job. And here's the mechanism, because I don't want this to sound soft. Remember what I said the dopamine flood did to me? It made me less grateful for the things I was doing and achieving. That's the damage. So this rule is the direct repair. You're training yourself to notice your own life again. It sounds odd to say that, but that's what happens. So here's the 5 questions I answered. Pick 3 of them or do all 5. So here they go. What do I pray for? What am I thankful for? What blessings happened today? Today was a good day because, and finally, thoughts for a better tomorrow. That's it. 5 to 10 minutes. Use the today was a good day prompt as an opportunity for self-recognition. What did you achieve today? Small, big, doesn't matter, write it. So how do you know this protocol worked? Not by how you feel on day 30, by what you can suddenly do. Here's my before. I could not sit down and read a book. It looked like a pure waste of time to me. And I could not sit down and think thoroughly through a hard problem. You know, those problems that just you really should spend a day thinking about, I could not do it. The moment something actually required hard thinking, I would go and jump to something fun and easy that gave me the dopamine hit instead. So here's my after. I can read as much as I want. I can spend an entire day thinking through one problem. And I don't need to go find those cheap dopamine activities just to feel okay. That's the proof. Not a feeling, a capability. And then there was a moment I turned it all back on. The first time I opened social media again. The flood of dopamine literally made me smile. Not as a figure of speech, an actual physical reaction to opening Instagram. And the first time I used AI again, the amount of leverage I felt at my fingertips, I genuinely cannot put into words. The tool hadn't changed at all, I had. Now let me be clear about something, because I'm not anti any of this. Social media, AI, the fun, easy stuff, it all has a time and a place. For me, that place is after I'm done with the things I actually need to get done. That's the whole difference. Not never, after. All right, one more honest thing before I recap this protocol, because I'd be selling you something otherwise. I'm not finished. About a month ago, I started hitting a wall at the end of my work days, a full body tension I couldn't place. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. The frustration wasn't about execution. It was about not seeing the exact results I wanted that specific day. I talked it through in therapy, and what we landed on is that a strict routine might not be the right fit for someone who operates creative first, so I loosened it. The outer structure stayed fixed. 8:30 to 5, everything still gets done, but the inside of the day got some flow. I can swap what I work on. I can start with content if that's where my head's at. Because doing the exact same thing in the exact same order every day made me start to resent it. And the last thing I want is a good thing to become a bad thing. So run these 30 days as written here in this protocol, then adjust the inside and keep the walls. All right, 7 rules and what each one is actually doing. Let's recap this. Rule 1, name the real reason. The thing that gets you through day 8. Rule 2, the social blackout. That's you resetting what normal feels like. Rule 3, cut the AI. That's your brain getting the muscle back. Rule 4, move every day. That's your change of state you can't negotiate with. Rule 5, water. That's just water. Rule 6, cap the work. That's you learning you're allowed to be done. Rule 7, gratitude. 5 to 10 minutes. That's you being able to feel your own wins again. 30 days, one time. And then, if you're anything like me, once a year from here on out. And come back to the 4 things I opened with. Sitting down and staying with the hard thing. Reading the book on the shelf. Feeling a win when a win happens. Ending the day without that frustration sitting on your chest. Those aren't personality traits, that's a baseline. And a baseline can be reset. I hope this video was valuable for you, as that's my only goal with this channel. If it was, a like and a subscribe is genuinely appreciated. Dylan out.